safe place. My last safe place.
Welcome to the Rock and Review. I'm thrilled to be here with Beth Sass and Walter Egan, singers, songwriters, musicians, artists, as in painters also, and with a brand new album out, Webs.
Yes.
And that was from one of the tracks on here, which I love that, Safe Place, Last Safe Place. But you know, I was telling you earlier on the news interview, I think my favorite songs on here are like Second Thoughts and also Fight, Sail, Stay.
Fight, Sail, Stay, that's an interesting story. Beth, when we're both fans of Joni Mitchell, and Joni Mitchell had health problems a few years ago, and why don't you tell it, Beth? You tell it better.
David Crosby put out a call for fans to send very brief 2 or 3, 4-word messages on Instagram.
Wow.
Facebook and Instagram. And I believe that when she was coming out of being conscious, they had a big screen over her hospital bed, and I believe they were trying to broadcast messages from fans. And all of a sudden I said, what would I say to Joni Mitchell if I could? And she was fighting for her health, and I said, fight, sail, stay.
That is so amazing. Well, you know, and you and Walter are both, you know, incredible solo artists, but you guys also come together, and you've been working together for years, and I've seen you at Kimbrough's. Yes. And hung out with you guys there when you played shows there. And so Webs is the new album, and it's kind of interesting how you guys came up with the name.
Well, we searched far and wide to find the name for this. And as some people thought it should be, because Beth sings before I do most of these songs, it should be BS, EW. I thought, you know, no, how about EWBS now? And so, you know, we tried all the permutations.
Right,
we
totally.
finally came up with Webs, and it then, you know, rationalized it after we made the name, and it does make a lot of sense these days. Webs are all over us, you know, the big World Wide Web, and the webs that spiders create, and they're, you know, they're very deep. You know,
well, you know,
we
I
don't
think
have enough to go into it.
Well, and I think it's interesting, the interplay between you guys also, and obviously the way you record this too, to where you and Beth pretty much did all the instruments except for percussion.
This is true. I work with a great drummer named Ronnie Krasinski, and Ronnie came in and he would play the basic tracks with me, and then I would layer guitars, and Beth would come in and do the keyboards, and then we'd work with the vocals. It was a really fun process, you know. And
well, and the album has a live sound to it, and very organic. And I wanted to bring up too, you guys did an LA tour last year, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
You know, out there traveling about, and then you have representation for TV and film with potentially soaps and other TV shows. And I think there's some songs on here on Webs that could easily fit into those categories.
I think you're right about that. Don't you think so, Beth?
I totally agree.
So are you both like constantly, you know, besides, you know, writing and performing out on your own, are you also constantly writing together and sending each other ideas?
To a certain degree, yeah. I mean, I got a guitar when I was 15, and instead of writing or doing scales, I decided I would write songs. And so by the time I was 16, I'd written a few songs. And I haven't stopped since then.
But when we get together, I think when we get together, we both have like stockpiles of ideas, both melodically and lyrically, and we'll figure out what is the thing that is the most pressing lyrically for one of us, and what is the thing that's most pressing musically. And there's always something to pull from.
I thought it was interesting that you were both born in New York also.
Oh, wow.
And you both spent time in Boston.
Yes, we were the carpetbaggers here in Nashville. But it's interesting, the way I met Beth, I teach at a summer camp called The Jam.
Yeah.
And her daughter, Bianca, who is a wonderful person and musician and everything else, said, hey, you should meet my mother. She writes songs too. And so from there we met and we started writing. And I've been mostly a solo writer in my career.
Right. Well, you know, with Magnet and Steel, you know, that came out in 1978, and you had Lindsey Buckingham producing that album with you.
Yes.
Not a bad.
No, I was lucked into a nice situation there. And I had no idea who Lindsey or Stevie were at that point. And so yeah, that was great. But the amazing thing is, for me, writing with Beth is, in my career, I've only co-written with a few people, and in a limited sense. and we've written over 12 songs at this
Wow.
point. So, yeah,
Well, you know, it's so much fun
unique.
seeing you guys perform live too. And Beth, I've seen you perform solo, and obviously with your teaching, working with kids and adults and everything. But when you guys, you know, perform together on stage, there is kind of an electricity to it.
Yeah, well, we have fun doing that, and there's a definite part of our personality that comes out on stage that we don't explore when we're sitting in a room writing.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of fun.
Yes, it
to,
brings it
to
to
see
life. It definitely brings it to life.
Well, you know, and I wanted to bring up, Beth, you know, as a Casio endorsed artist, you know, you're constantly writing, performing out and about. Now, you're going to have a new solo album coming out later this year also,
Yes,
aren't you?
I am. I'm in the studio self-producing, which is quite a challenge. I have to listen and then critique and then listen and then critique. I'm working with Bruce Dees in the Homework Studio, and that's a big challenge.
And so that album will be out later this year?
Yeah, I've released a single from it called Distance that's
I was gonna
available.
bring that up,
yeah. But yes, I'm doing homework for Homework Studio all the time. That's
What fun. And then same with you, Walter, you know, with your old high school band, you're you know, it's like that joke, we're putting the band back together. You're back with the Malibooz, and you guys are going to
Malibooz.
have a new album out this year too.
Just last week I was out in LA doing the mixes of my part of that album. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fine album.
And you came off a UK tour earlier this year.
We did. We played in Liverpool at the Cavern Club.
How incredible
And
is
so
that?
That was very incredible.
And
we did-
later this summer too, you know, and obviously, you know, fans go to your website, Walter Egan. You're going to be playing the Rock the Yacht, which you corrected me is not a cruise.
It's not a cruise. Most people
but it
think
is with
it's a cruise.
Ambrosia
Well,
and with Stephen Bishop.
well, in case you haven't gotten the new hip lingo, yacht rock is a way of rebranding the smooth soft rock of mid '70s to mid '80s.
See, and to me, that was just like a great era of music. I didn't think it needed rebranding.
Well, apparently those things work because I play these shows and it's like a frat party. The people wearing captain's hats and they're, you know, it's crazy.
Okay.
The whole younger generation is turning on to that music, and I think it's the melody as much as anything. There's, you know, there was a real emphasis on melody in those days.
Oh, totally.
Whereas today it's more groove and repetition, I think.
And I'm in total agreement. That's what's so nice to hear with your new album, Webs, also, is you've still got the melodies, but also you have lyrics that I think create imagery. And I think, you know, some of the new music today, it's like you said, it's more just about the groove and the beat.
That's the part that's so great, to work with somebody that's spent as much of their life as I have of mine collecting special ways of saying things on top of specially crafted melodies and chords. I really appreciate that.
Now, I want to make sure now the best place for our viewers to find you guys together with Webs is on Facebook, correct?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, Beth Sass with Walter Egan. We have a Facebook group that you can join, and there's lots of updates there. And then we both share the events and the recordings and the process and all that stuff to our personal pages and
Right, because you each
Instagram
have
and
your
everything.
individual artist
Yes.
pages with Beth Sass and
But
Walter
we
Egan.
cross-pollinate all promotion. That's my favorite, and it's important. I wanted to say that it's been helpful with Casio's support to be able to bring so many keyboards into the recording process. I've got the chance to use them and layer and layer and layer.
Well, and I remember,
layer.
too, when you were on tour last year, Beth, to where they were actually sending keyboards to where you guys were going. And that's kind of handy.
They do. They,
you know, as compared to when we came in studio and I had to carry your keyboard. I can't always be there, Beth. You know, or Walter. You know, sometimes, you know, you need help.
We get shipping. I have shipping.
Now, where's the best place for you know, our viewers to buy the singles, or I suggest buying the entire album from Webs?
Yeah, I was going to say all digital platforms, all of them.
It's on CD Baby, it's on
Apple
iTunes.
Music.
Of course, iTunes doesn't
Yes,
exist.
let's
Right.
say
As of
Apple
this
Music.
time.
Right.
Apple Music. yeah.
Amazon, Apple Music, and wherever you search for my name or Walter's name, in the midst of all of our solo projects, are combined material.
Which are great songs to add into your playlist.
Yeah, exactly. Spotify playlists where,
or you know, or if you're pulling up some of the Malibooz and maybe you're wearing the captain's outfit and you're thinking, you know, maybe I'm caught in the webs or the nets while I'm listening to yacht rock.
Yes.
And I didn't realize we had a Pandora
right.
station, but Beth Sass with Walter Egan has a Pandora station.
Look at that! I know, I found it.
Yeah.
See?
So
It's fun stuff. Well, you know, it's so neat that you both stay so creative. You know, you're both teaching. Walter, you're still doing paintings and everything, too. I always enjoy the posts that you do on Facebook.
Well, thank you.
You know,
Yes.
the different, you know, the James Dean
Well,
and the different
I
people
did
over the years.
a series of the Martyrs of Rock,
Yeah.
as I called them. And these were people who inspired me, and I translated them. You know, I was an art major in college, and I've made an effort at trying to be as creative as I can in my life in every forum that I
Right.
can think of. And so, yeah, and it was great. We did a show up in D.C., and we also had a show out at in L.A. at the Mr. Music Head Gallery.
Right.
And of these Martyrs of Rock. And
You know, you guys are just like, you know, creative in all directions.
that's the idea.
You
That's
know? Between the
creative
music,
life.
between the teaching, between paintings, it's just very impressive. Beth, I can't wait to hear your new album coming out later this year. Also,
we have a date for that.
yeah, and but I think Webs is what a great album that the both of you have put together, and obviously Walter with you producing it too, and you did all the instrumentation except the drums, and fun songs.
Thanks.
You know, I think, like I said, I think these would work very easily for TV or film if they're looking for it in LA for some of the
Just
shows.
keep saying that, and we'll give you your cut after we
Because
get
then,
the
Walter, you can get
placement.
one more guitar, you know, besides your classic Martin and your Strat.
Yes, yes.
And you know, Beth might need another keyboard. Who knows?
She always needs another keyboard. You see, I want to research the fact that my first dentist was Dr. Cassio.
I don't think that's coincidence.
I think that maybe his children
Yeah.
have created these keyboards for Beth.
It's just amazing. Well, I'll tell you what, be sure and find them wherever you buy or download music. It's Webs. It's Beth Sass with Walter Egan. Catch them on tour. They've got their individual projects, but I think you're going to enjoy this new album, Webs. Thanks for watching The Rock and Review.